Hey, this is Shilpa here. So the last 5 videos I've been talking about intention, about focus, and about the idea of intentionally thinking about the life you want, rescripting the life you have, and going and creating that life. And I'm sharing some of the tools, some of the practices, some of the habits that I've developed over the years or have learned over the years, and the systems that I have in place. And now here's one more. So that's my end of the day routine. And the idea is about reflecting and journaling. So this is probably the first practice or the longest running practice I've got in this whole intentional focus piece. So one of the things I do is during or after every new experience in my life that is impactful, I'll actually sit down and I'll reflect or write down the experience and create a journal for that. Well, I've got a lot of these experiences and journals sitting around over the years. And this journal could run for days, for weeks, for months, or even a year, depending on how long that impact lasted. Now, over the years, I've created many different types of such journals. My first overseas trip to Nepal with my grandparents when I was in year 10, my experiences during internship at the homeopathic hospital and being a clinical assistant to different practitioners, then meeting my husband and the first few years of our marriage as we were building our life together, our travels around Europe when Atul was working, my experiences in the first few days after I moved to Australia, and as we started on this new chapter in our lives, my pregnancy diary, and the challenges raising our son, and many, many more. So all these are my life-changing moments, experiences of people, of places, of my travels, even some of the life-changing books that I have read, or any of the artwork that have touched or moved me or inspired me to grow, to expand, or change my perception in some way. So sometimes I just go back and scroll through these pages and I'll find that there was a significant idea or a significant thought or a memory or whatever. I'll write down on the page what that was and what that thought was. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It all comes down to, this is the number one thing I want to really convey, is that there is no right or wrong in all of this. There's one wrong to it, and that one wrong is being militant about it, saying, I have to have a journal every day. If I don't journal every day, I'm a loser. So I know that there are too many of these things I'm talking about. I've talked about my daily ritual. I've talked about planning your year. I've talked about meditation, yoga, and every single one of these, you don't want to be too rigid. You don't want to be too hard on yourself. It's not about judging yourself negatively if you fall down for a bit, if you get out of practice. It's about coming back to the practice. And so there have been days, many days, many weeks, I don't journal. There have been so many experiences that I would have liked to, but I didn't journal. There have been gaps of months where I don't look at my journal. But right now, I'm working on filling out a journal on my experiences from my recent Indian travel this year. And usually it takes about 3 or 4 months to complete one of these. But the number one thing is that you are doing this to express your thoughts during the experience as honestly and with as little judgment as possible. It helps you form new perceptions about those events and build an incredible life. You're not doing this to create a yardstick or a weapon to beat yourself up. It's about making yourself better and not about feeling worse. So journal when it's right for you. It's usually towards the end of the day of my daily ritual that I do this. I'll just sit down, I'll write for 5 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes it's longer, but it's usually about 5 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it might be just me recording stuff on video because I get to do amazing, crazy projects in my life and my business, and I want to remember them. And I especially want to celebrate them because I think too many times we don't celebrate the great things in our lives. We don't appreciate, we don't have the gratitude for all those amazing little things and big things in our life. And so, this is a place to actually make sure you know those things, you know those great, wonderful things, and then you can go back, reflect on them. Sometimes I'm simply trying to figure out what I want in my life, what I want for that day. Sometimes it could be just planning a new project. One of the things I do, I'm not doing this not right now, but I've done this in the past. It depends on how integrative I feel. It sometimes I've gone and looked at a journal way back when I was a teenager. I think my first journal I remember vividly was in 1996 or something. And I looked at that journal, I read my thoughts, and then I read my thoughts now around a similar experience. And I reflect on the perspectives and what has changed and how. And I will tell you, this has been huge for me. It's been great to be able to go back, see where I was at a certain time in my life, and where I was, where my brain was, where my heart was, what my feelings were, what I was thinking. And it's also great to go back and sometimes look at some of the past goals that I had recorded and say, wow, I did that and I got that. So I'm still in alignment with that, or I'm not. That's what I keep on looking at. It can be an amazing journey of self reflection. So this can be anything. You can do it in any way you want. I mean, it's your life, it's your journal. Define it how you want, but just make sure that you define it in a way that you win, not in a way that you're making yourself feel bad. So think about it. And yes, it doesn't have to be on paper, it doesn't have to be, digital, but just do what's right for you. And if you're going to lead the life we are talking about, you want to rescript your life, you want to lead that focused, intentional life, then it's worth expressing in writing or recording. So I'm Shilpa Baraskar. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave me a comment. And this was our 6th video on intention and focus and rescripting your life to creating something that you really dream of and to get you to your full potential. And I've been enjoying doing them. So let me know if you are enjoying them. I'm actually having a lot of fun, trying to get these components together. Who knows? I might end up creating a training around this. So let me know if that's something you would be interested in some form of training to make your life and practice even more intentional. Now, I don't have anything planned right now, but you never know. So scroll down, leave me a comment. Let's go and rescript the best life of our dreams this week. Thank you.